Hey, what is going on, guys? Today I'm sharing with you my full review of the Fanatec McLaren GT3 V2 wheel rim. I have been using this wheel rim for about 8 months now, ever since I got my CSL DD, and this is my full comprehensive review. We're going to be going over all of the pros, the very few, not even cons, just my tiny little gripes with this wheel, and overall I'll be telling you, is it worth it, which I'll give you a spoiler in the TLDR. Yes, this wheel is most definitely worth it. But real quick, big thank you to all of my channel members for their continued support. If you want to become a channel member, it's just $1 a month. And without further ado, let's get right into the review. So let's now talk about what this wheel is. It's the McLaren GT3 wheel rim. So you're probably like, well, what makes it a McLaren GT3 wheel rim? Now, unlike the BMW M4 GT3 wheel, which is the actual steering wheel that goes in the car, this is a replica of McLaren's older GT3 car, the 650S. If you want to see this car in action, you can go on to Assetto Corsa. It's default Kunos content, and you can see this wheel. It is a perfect 1-to-1 scale replica of the wheel. The only thing where it deviates is the LCD screen that's on this wheel. In real life is another rotary encoder. But I much prefer having the LCD there than having a third rotary encoder, so that's a good move. Let's talk about the build of the McLaren GT3 wheel. It is pretty much exclusively plastic, minus the magnetic paddle shifters, which feel very nice, have a very beautiful sound if you like clicky things. And overall, even though it's plastic and rubber on the handles, it feels really nice. It feels very sturdy. I'm on a 8 Nm CSL DD, and I've never once felt like the wheel was, gonna break or have anything happen to it. It feels very sturdy for plastic. Now, while saying that, I do want to remind everyone that it is still plastic. It's hollow inside. When you tap on it, it is hollow. So it's not going to feel as premium and nice as, say, a V2 open wheel rim. But this wheel rim is also half the price, which you need to remember. And speaking of the price, let's talk about it. It is just $200 USD. This is one of Fanatec's cheapest wheels, and it is their cheapest open wheel style wheel rim. This wheel feels so great in the hands, and especially if you're going to be doing a lot of endurance races, this is going to be the wheel for you, because as it comes from a GT3 car where you're doing a lot of endurance races, for the real life driver, they want to be as comfortable as possible for those, 3 hours that they're in the car. So, of course, being a 1-to-1 replica, this carries over all of those traits, and I can personally attest after 8 months, my hands have never felt sore or hurted in any way after driving it. And I've done some pretty long stints with this wheel. This wheel also has a ton of buttons, 14 programmable ones to be exact, and then the 15th rotary encoder is to change what you want the second paddles to be. This wheel has 2 rotary encoders, 1 7-way funky switch, 6 just regular clicky buttons, and 2 little switches. It also has neutral and pit limiter buttons that are raised and have edges on them, so you won't actually hit them. So for games like Assetto Corsa Competizione, that is going to be a great addition. The shifters, as I said, are magnetic and are made of metal. They feel very nice, very robust, and they still shift as good as they did when I first took it out of the box. As for the predominantly used for hand clutch paddles below, they are made of plastic, but you can map them to 4 different things. Of course, I said as before, your hand clutch, like in Formula 1 cars. You can also have clutches and hand brakes, throttle and brake if you have a disability to where you can't use your legs, and just mappable analog axes, so if you want to use it for something else, you can. I think one of the coolest things about this wheel is that to get a hand clutch on other Fanatec open wheel rims, they don't come with them standard, the V2, the V2.5, is that they don't come with hand clutches. You have to buy the Podium paddle shifter module for another $180 on top of a $400 wheel rim. You can also get the podium shifters on the Club Sport F1 Esports wheel for $270, but beyond the point. The LCD screen on this wheel, which I should mention the F1 Esports V2 wheel rim does not have, is very nice. It can display your gears, your RPMs, your speed, whatever you want it to in the Fanatec software. And it's also really helpful for setting up your force feedback settings. The only small gripe I have with this wheel is its quick release. Now, I have, again, an 8 Nm CSL DD, and I'm still using the default glass-injected plastic quick release, and it is a very nice quick release. It's definitely an improvement from their older plastic quick releases, but it does feel quite cheap. It feels robust, but it doesn't feel very premium, and I have seen online that these do have a tendency to break. I haven't had no experience, no flex or anything like that, but I have seen a couple people's break. So for $100, you can get their metal quick release, which is what all of the more premium wheel rims come with, and if that's worth it to you, then that's great. I personally am not in a rush, but if that's something you don't even want to have the thought of risking, then you're going to want to upgrade to the metal quick release, which again is another $100 USD. But overall, after 8 months of using this wheel rim, do I recommend it? And it is a resounding yes. I would give this wheel rim pretty much 4.5 out of 5 stars, 5 stars maybe even as a whole, and its $200 price range. This thing is an absolute killer deal. It blows any other competitor's open wheel rim prices out of the water, in my opinion, and it is definitely worth the upgrade compared to the CSL Elite steering wheels. It is also a fantastic budget open wheel rim. Again, the next one up is $270 for the F1 Esports one, but in my opinion, I don't think that's a great buy because it doesn't even have the LCD screen. It does have shift lights, which is nice, but it has less buttons on it, and overall, this one is a lot more comfortable and ergonomic as well. And if you don't have racing gloves, it does have the rubber grips, which you would kind of get your Alcantara ones dirty if you were to go for one of the more higher-end open wheel rims. Whether this is your first Fanatec wheel rim or your 50th, I highly recommend you buy this one if you're interested in it. I pretty much have no complaints with this thing. I've had no issues, and overall, it has been absolutely perfect for 8 months. And I know it's going to be perfect for the next 8 months and the next 8 months after that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you did find this review helpful, a like and a sub would mean a lot, and it'll tell me that you guys want to see some more hardware reviews. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a good one, guys.